So Ian asked me to speak a few words as the most senior member of Cohort 1. So I took umbrage at being called the most senior member, but did say that I'd be very delighted to speak about my experiences under the scheme very quickly. I'm the head of Durham High School, which is the girls' independent school in the northeast for girls aged 3 to 18. I'm a very proud graduate of a mentorship programme and began it in 2016. At the time, I was a senior deputy head, considering applying for headships, and the scheme gave me the confidence and the tools to apply for headships, and thankfully, I was given this role as head of Durham High School for September 2018. I really loved doing the Insights Discovery test, and I was really shocked by how scarily accurate it was. I think at the time I protested and said, no, it's not me. I think it's about 60-70% me. And then by the end he asked again and I said, well, probably about 98% actually. It really addressed my personality traits, and in my current role as a head, it has really forced me to think about how my bright sunshine yellow dominant might be too much for the cool blues that I sometimes work with. Interestingly though, if I did the test again, because my fiery yellow wasn't that fiery at the time, if I were to redo that test, would my yellow be up there now because of all the decisions that I've had to make and the situations I found myself in the last 8 months as head? So when I was about to embark on my headship, I was advised by my wonderful mentor, Dr. Ruth Weeks of Edgerton High, that I should employ a coach. And I know the GSA are very keen on new heads having coaches. So I went back to Ian and said to him, can you be my coach? And I really am not on commission here, but I've got to say I couldn't have done it without him the first term as a new head. It's really, really exciting. It's absolutely the best job in the world, but it can be incredibly isolating. I was there for a few weeks, and when we had the inspectors come in and all the normal vicissitudes of school life, it was quite tough at times. But I always knew that I had Ian at the end of the phone. We had some very frank exchanges. You know, that coaching relationship times can be quite hard work. It's not soft soaping. He forced me to think about my decision making and my personality and how I was reacting to a situation because of my own personality traits. And really sitting with me sometimes or over the telephone and really thrashing things out, and it was transformational. So 8 years, it feels like 8 years, but it's only 8 months. 8 months in, I know I'm a very different person, and I know that the role I've evolved, but also I don't think I could have done it without Brightfield. So thank you very much indeed, Ian. And I'd like to give him a big clap, actually.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jo Pomeroy. I'm head teacher of Woodford County High School, way out east on the Central line. It's my challenge this afternoon. It's my privilege in closing off this conference to try to distill the essence of some of the things that we have learned today and some of the inspiration which we're all going to take out in our different ways to our different roles from the speeches and the presentations we've heard today. We were very fortunate to have a colleague at Woodford on the first cohort of the programme. She's not able to be here today, unfortunately, but she is now working on the inspirational leadership team at Highbury Grove Academy. So the programme supported her very well, and I'm delighted I've got two colleagues with me here today about to embark on that journey themselves. We get various programmes and so forth advertised to us in school. Why did this one grab my attention for some of the young professionals, young women with whom I work? I think the focus on giving some time and space to focus on people's career development, the fact of women supporting women, which has only got to be a good thing. I think the opportunity to learn from women leading outside education, it's a different perspective coming in, and the fact that it's kind of practical and doable in our very busy lives in school. So today's been about challenging assumptions. We've heard from some really inspirational people. I mean, from Mel Robinson earlier today, We heard about the importance of plotting your own course, even when there isn't the wake of other people to follow, even more so. And I think I'm going to be thinking about that presentation for a good deal of time, and the importance of owning our own choices. We heard then from Mike Murphy, the clinical nutritionist, about respecting our ancient genome. I didn't know I had one of those, but I do now. And perhaps really importantly as leaders, that thing, he quoted British Airways, but sorting your own oxygen mask before you help other people. It is important in the jobs that we do. So inspired to hear from Kim Jarrett earlier, and her very personal, very candid, compassionate presentation about the journey her family had been on. I know a lot of us in school are supporting young people in similar circumstances, and we're wanting to do our very best. And what could be more useful than to hear directly from a parent? So thank you for that. And then, of course, later this afternoon from Juliet Stevenson, who has delighted and inspired us with her career, all those women that she has portrayed in all their facets with such compassion and intelligence, and perhaps leaving us with that idea of, what did she call it, an extreme example of how women do things when they're not given power. Well, that's something for us to think about. So I'd like to end by saying how enriching I found the day. I'm sure everybody has. Enormous thanks to Ian and to Hilary in absentia for all the work and the vision, really, that's gone into bringing today together. And, of course, to our hosts here, Godolphin and Latimer. And we've been very well looked after. So I think we need a round of applause.